Hello everybody, it's a sunny day, a new dawn has broken, so however tired you may be if you were up all night for the general election, welcome to our Friday vlog and thanks for tuning in. And on one level, nothing's changed, has it? So here at Ardash we've still got our 28 promises, and part of the point of the strategy that we put together was to reinforce a sense that as policies change and as politics changes, we're not ignoring the different influences, but we're still set on a course of delivering those commitments that we've given to ourselves, to our partners and to the public. And I strongly suspect that there's really good alignment between what's coming in terms of health and care policy and the things that we've committed to in our strategy. This week I spent time alongside Kath Lavery with another of our staff networks, and the work that Rosie and before her Tammy have been helping to coordinate through our Dawn network really struck me in particular. You may remember that 12 months or so ago we made financial provision for a reasonable adjustments budget to make sure that if you come to work at Ardash and there are some alterations that are needed to your work environment or to how we work with you, there weren't local impediments to that with individual managers or individual budget activity. I'm just delighted to listen to the impact Rosie feels that has made for people working in our organisation. I guess it does testify, being candid, to a backlog of maybe those issues not having been possible to progress in the past. It's so important that this organisation is open and available to all. And whether you come to work here, declare a disability, or you develop long-term condition or a disability while you're building your career with us, the organisation needs to be standing side by side with you. So I know our staff networks are going to thrive as we go through the next year or two, helped of course by our learning half days, maybe creating a bit of space and a bit of time for people to join in. But as I say, if you're listening to this, you've been part of the Dawn Network, thank you so much on behalf of the board. But also let's keep up that work, let's keep up that emphasis, particularly maybe working with line managers to make sure that there is good awareness and good support coming from line managers as well as from the central team. Spent time this week as well at our first annual healthcare support workers conference. Absolutely packed room, fizzing with ideas and possibilities. Not just the apprentice conversation that we've had here before, not just a sense of why healthcare support workers contribute every single day to the care we provide to our patients, but also a real sense of how we provide more training, education, support, opportunities into one of our largest workforces, working in every part of Ardash. Sometimes there's a perception healthcare support work is a very ward-based activity, but actually there's a huge diversity of roles among our healthcare support workers. So I just want to say a big thank you to those who put that conference together, but also to those who came along and were so open and candid about what works well and what we need to do better. Heard lots of ideas that we can take away and work on. And I know a new professional advisory group around healthcare support workers is going to come into being to really try and channel the voice of people working in those roles and make sure that it's heard across, up and down our organisation. I guess when I think about the next 2-3 years, and I think maybe about what might happen with a change of government, there's lots of things people will talk about with the NHS, but there's probably just a couple of things I thought it was worth drawing our attention to here at Ardash, and they're less to do with the NHS and more to do with the wider population and the care sector and the care system. So we've been doing a lot of work, haven't we, since the turn of the year around dementia diagnosis, and I'm absolutely thrilled to hear that we're down to about a 6-week wait now in Rotherham for our memory service. We've seen the long waits go from over 250 to just less than 50 human beings who are currently waiting too long. So thank you to everybody involved in the beginnings of that transformation. I know we'll talk about that at CLE. A part of our work on dementia, of course, and you can see on the screens some material nationally that recognises that, is that we still tend as a country to be better at recognising and acting on dementia in certain populations. And the black and minority ethnic population in particular, there are barriers to acknowledgement, to diagnosis and then to service around dementia. And if we're going to live out our values as an organisation, that's something we want to change, which is why it's part of the R-5 at Promise 8. So really important, if you like, extra dimension to our work on dementia over the next little while. I said at the beginning of this film that I was going to mention the wider care system, and I think when I think about the new carers network that we're developing, when I think about the commitments that we've made to carers at Promise 2, it's obvious to me that the domiciliary care market in particular is a really important part of the fabric of our communities. Obviously, with our partnership with Flourish, we are already providing some element of domiciliary care for end-of-life care patients. But it's something we're going to be giving more thought to as we think about what the future best holds. I know that the incoming government has said that its reforms around social care are a long-term project, but it's really important as Ardash that we think laterally and creatively about what role we want to play in the future of the social care market, the care market. We work at the moment, don't we, with so very many care homes. And again, I think it's worth us reviewing what that partnership could look like in the future as we look to a future where maybe some of the barriers between the NHS and the care sector are broken down, some of the traditional barriers that were there from the founding of the National Health Service. So there's a thank you in there for the work we already do reaching into care homes. There's also, I guess, a call for your thoughts, your ideas about what our future partnerships might be, because I think it's implicit in a number of our promises that we want to find a deeper and a more thoughtful relationship with the care sector in the future. Like I say, lots of possibilities, but fundamentally, our promises are still the course that we're on. Hope you get some rest. Fingers crossed, see if we can win our second major football tournament in the last couple of years. Back next week. Cheers.